Standing here with me is the lead investigators in this case, which are my major crimes investigator. I have major crimes investigator Bagliat and Cindy Casas. So I'm going to discuss some of the events that transpired last Thursday in the 600 block of Guerra Lane in Rural Mercedes. Of course, it resulted in the death of a 19-year-old man. And afterwards, I'm going to take a few questions. Be mindful that, again, this is still a ongoing investigation, so I'm very limited on what I can say. Most of the facts, though, are going to be presented to you here. So on Thursday, February 23rd, 2023, at approximately 3:46 a.m., Sheriff's deputies responded to a call of an aggravated kidnapping by the victim, and which that call was later reclassified to a murder. Upon arrival, the sheriff deputies met with the victim. His name was Juan Ramirez. He stated that two armed masked men arrived at his residence and attempted to kidnap him. And during the abduction, one of the suspects hit him in the head with the rifle's buttstock, which caused the rifle to fire, and that caused another suspect who was hit in the head with that bullet. Sheriff deputy spoke with another kidnapped victim, Joe Anthony Valdez, who stated that he was at his friend's house, and when two females and three armed men arrived at the residence, Valdez was ordered inside the suspect's truck at gunpoint. He heard a gunshot and was told by the men to get out of the truck. Valdez's red Ford Fusion was then taken by the suspects as they fled the scene. At approximately 4:19, our communications received a call from Westlaco PD in reference to a male subject that later identified as 19-year-old Carlos Garcia Reese was dropped off at Knapp Medical Center with a gunshot wound to the head. The caller advised Reese had been dropped off in a red passenger vehicle. Sheriff deputies responded to Knapp Medical, where they were informed that Garcia Reese had been pronounced dead by J.P. Jesse Morales. Our major crimes unit, our criminal investigation unit, our crime scene specialists were summoned to the scene to continue with the investigation, to secure statements, process and gather evidence there at the scene. Investigators made contact with two females at the hospital who informed investigators that they had transported Reese to the hospital. The females were identified as 18-year-old Joshin Lomeli and 17-year-old Rosalba Garcia. Lomeli and Garcia both provided investigators with statements admitting to their involvement in the kidnapping, and they were both charged with murder, first degree, and tampering with physical evidence, a third-degree felony. Sheriff's investigators secured video surveillance from the scene, which captured the murder. They also recovered video surveillance from Knapp Medical Center, which showed the victims being dropped off by two unidentified females. Later that same day, investigators located the weapons used in the offense in a field near the crime scene. In statements and physical evidence obtained by investigators, arrest warrants were secured for 19-year-old Esmeralda Orozco and her 21-year-old sister, Ashley Orozco. On Friday, February 24th, Lomeli and Garcia were taken before Justice of the Peace Jason Peña, who charged them with murder and tampering with physical evidence, and they were each assessed a bond of $1 million for the murder and $100,000 for the tampering. Later that same day, investigators located Esmeralda and Ashley Orozco, and they were placed under arrest for the same charges. Investigators obtained separate statement from the Orozco sisters, and they also admitted to their role in the kidnapping and the tampering with evidence. Through statements, photographic lineup, and physical evidence obtained by investigators, 22-year-old Eric Eduardo Almares was identified as a suspect, and investigators obtained a murder warrant for his arrest. On Saturday, February 25th, the Orozco sisters were taken before Judge Jason Pena, and he charged them with murder and tampering with evidence, and also assessed a $1 million bond for the murder and a $100,000 bond for the tampering. On Monday, February 27th, investigators obtained additional witness information that identified 20-year-old Gerson Oriana as a suspect involved in the kidnapping attempt of Juan Ramirez and the murder of Carlos Garcia Reese. Investigators obtained a murder warrant for his arrest. Through the course of this investigation, it was learned both Eric Almares and Gerson Escobar were taken into custody by the U.S. Border Patrol on Friday evening, and they are currently being held in federal custody for federal charges in Corpus Christi. Through suspect and witness statements, sheriff's investigators were able to determine the motive, which is all these people are tied to an international organized group of human smugglers. So again, this is a ongoing investigation. So we're asking the public if they have any additional information on this case to please reach out to us and call us. They can also use the P3 Tips hotline application on their phone, or if they want to remain anonymous, they can contact our Crime Stoppers tip line, which is 956-668 TIPS. I want to thank some of our federal partners, the United States Marshal Service, Fugitive Task Force, and United States Border Patrol for their assistance in this case. So again, we believe that all the individuals in this case have been identified and are currently in custody. And again, they're all facing murder charges. The two that are in federal custody are facing also murder charges, but they're not facing the tampering with evidence. We will also work up the aggravated kidnapping case on them later on.